Hello Dynamics developers. In this series of video, we will be discussing about the translation of the portal, and we will see how we can translate the web template into the different language. So when you have multi-language enabled portal, then you can translate your portal into the different language by doing some configurations record. Like you can by doing the some web page configurations, you can do that. If you have links, then by doing the configurations of the record into the target language, you can do that one. But when you have something coming from your code, which you have embedded that code into the page template or the web template, then those will not be translated, right? You have to use the different mechanism to do the translation. So for that translations, I will be showing you how to do that, and I'll show you one of the easiest way how to do that one. So let's proceed without wasting time. So here for this task, I will be performing several steps, and video could be lengthy, so I will be putting this video in the small sections, and so that it will be easy for you to grab the content of my what I'm trying to show you here. Okay, so first step is we need to know how the language is enabled on the Dynamics and the portal. So I'll show you that. So let's see this first, and then we'll move to the next component. Okay, the next step. So how the language is enabled. So to enable the language, we have to go to our Dynamics. So already I have logged into Dynamics here. So this is my Dynamics URL where I have login, and you have to go to your administration here, and when you go to the administration, you will find the language section here. So from here, you have to enable the language. So you can see these are the languages available for the Dynamics which we can apply here. So you can see already I have applied the two language, Chinese and the French here. And when you select the particular language, you will see this apply button will be enabled. And after selecting the particular language, you have to click apply. It will take some time to apply the language, because in the back end it will be creating several records and entities which will be into the particular language. And when you have enabled the language, and it is enabling at the time, the your Dynamics may be maybe you may feel some performance issue in your Dynamics, because it will happen in the background, but sometimes you may feel some performance issue in your Dynamics. Okay, so like that you can enable the particular language in your portal. And the best time to apply your language is that, suppose when you are applying, you are creating, sorry, you are working on the new project, and the new project is expecting the translation also, I mean the different language also to be applicable. Then first you develop your all entire project in one language, that is in English, and the default language. You develop your all the all the development in the default language, English language. And then in the last step, when your all development is completed, then you will enable the language. This is the best way, because if you enable the language before your development, then again you have to do some reconfigurations after enabling the language. Because when you enable the language after your development, you know all your components are developed, and you have to just enable the language. So in that case, in the while enabling this particular language, the CRM itself will be creating the related records and related components, whatever it is needed, whatever you have developed. Then some of the records you don't have to configure. But when you have enabled the language before, and then you want to translate it, then you will have to perform a lot of activities to enable the language. Okay, so this is how you can enable the language in your Dynamics. So when language is particular language is enabled, then to enable the language on your portal, you have to go to your portal first. So to enable the portal, to create the portal in your Dynamics, so there's two way. One is, if you are using the Power App, then in the Power App we are having options. So I can see here, this is my Power App login here. I have selected with my environment. This is my environment where I have login, and there I want to create the portal. So this is the portal I have created, and I will be modifying this portal for this demo. When you create the new app here, you can see you are having one option called portal. When you select this option, it will ask you the portal name, and you can the sub component of your portal URL will be PowerAppPortal here. But there is another portal also, that is called Microsoft CRM portal. and this is the new portal, and another is CRM portal. So we have two portal URLs you can find for development, I mean for the enabling the portal in the Dynamics. So when you're creating the portal from Power App, you will have this extension and the I mean this sub component in the URL. When you're enabling from solution, then you will have two options there. You will have the drop down there, and you can select the particular portal which you want to create, Power Portal or the CRM portal, and you have to give the name of your portal and the URL. As you can see, I have already created the portal, so I can show you the portal which I have created. So this is my portal which I have created, and this is the this is the URL of my portal, and this name you have to give here while creating the portal here. This address you have to give here, and once it is enabled, then when portal is created, then in the backend the Dynamics will create one model driven app that is called the portal management app. So you can see here, this is the portal management app. It will be created when you have enabled the portal from the Power App or from the solution, from the manage administrator. From there you will have the solutions from manage. There, if you from there, if you have enabled the portal, that is the like any portal, like whether it is your customer self-service portal or employee portal, any portal when you have enabled, then the Power Portal Management app will be created. And using this app, we will be customizing entire component of our portal. So you can see, when I have enabled my portal here, I have created this portal app here, this one. Then the portal, my portal is, my portal management Power App is, sorry, model driven app is created, and you will have the website name here. So if it is your customer self-service portal, then you will see the customer self-service. If you are employee portal, then you will find this one. So that particular portal again of which you have created, you will find that website here. So to enable the language to your portal, then you have to go to your portal management. You can select your portal website here, portal website what is created, and then you will have the language supported here. So here by default you will have the English language, because this is the default language in the Dynamics. And when you have enabled the multiple language, then you can configure that. So you can select the new language from here, and when you click the new website language, you will find all those languages which you have enabled from here, because first language has to be enabled in the Dynamics, and then only those languages can be used to your website of your portal. So you can see the different language here. So you can see these are the language, French and other language available for me. I'm showing French here because already I have created the another supported language record here. That is why it was showing the available for me. So you'll find the Chinese language, English, and the French, both three languages, and you can select the you can create the new record of that one, and then it will enable the portal for the particular language. When your language is enabled on your portal, then on the portal website you will find this component. This is called the language selection part, and here you will have the all those drop down of the language. Like this is, since I have enabled the portal for Chinese, then that is why it is showing me Chinese here. So Chinese and English. So I'm seeing here, if you have enabled the another language here, then you will find the another drop down here for the language, and then you can navigate, you can change your portal language to the different one, Chinese and the English, wherever you want. You can change the portal language to the target one. So this is how we can enable the language in your Dynamics and the portal. I hope that part you have understood, and we'll see the next step now. Okay, so now our second step is that I will be designing the new web template, and show you how to configure that. So before I go and design the new web template, I'll tell you what and all we can do in the web template. So this diagram I found it very useful, because this explains everything, how the web template, page template, and web pages are used. So web template is nothing but the root of our all website pages. I mean website in the sense our portal pages. So this web template can be used by the multiple page templates. You can see using the one web template you can get the multiple page templates, and for each page templates you can have the multiple web pages. And when you design the web pages you will have the two things here. One is the information, another is content page, and the content page is the actual page which will be displayed in your portal based on the language, what language you will select. So here in the web template basically you can write your liquid scripts, you can write some HTML tags. If you want to write some JavaScript you can write those things. So basically the coding thing of what on the base of all the files you want to do, you want to design, that you can do in the web templates. So now I will flip to the portal management there and my dynamics, and there I will create the new web template. Okay, so this is the I have login here to my portal management. So this is my portal management. Okay, and then here I have to design the web template one. So I'll select my web template from the left navigation. I will create the new web template here. I'll give, this is the my website for which I'm going to create the new web template. I'll give the name as CRM demo web template. Okay, and here we will have the code here. So let me save this first, then I will add the code. So this is my web template which is created, and now in the source we'll have the actual codes coming here. So to save the time, already I have downloaded some script, HTML scripts, and the style script for the web template. So this is nothing but actual in the website will have the HTML tags there, right? And with if you want to display in that way, so those tags we will be placing here, liquid scripts, and those things we will be doing here. So to save the time, already I have taken the script and explain you what it is there. So I'll copy this script here. Let me paste here, and you can see inside this what I have done is I have added the style here of the HTML tags, and this is the HTML tags. We are having the div and some header, some paragraph, and then some input and the some different kind of input, the password type, a button type, and those things. So whatever the HTML tags you want to use, you can add those here. So while taking this in the web template, make sure your all your div, I mean the HTML tags are placed below at the bottom of your web template, and above this your this section, I mean this from where your actual the HTML tags are starting. Above this one we will be writing our styles, some JavaScript, liquid scripts, those things we will be writing above here, above this only. And in this HTML tag you can see I'm having some hard coded text. So you can see register, these are some English text, and then we are having the emails, password. So this is the English text which you have added here in your web template. And when you use this web template to any page template and that page template to another web pages, and then when you change your language from English to the another language, then that will not be translated because this is coming from hard coded text of your web template, and we will be discussing the translation of this kind of text. Okay, and here with respect to these IDs and particular types, already there's some styles scripts, and this I have already placed. To simply view this on the website, so I have to add the new web page there, but before that I have to create the page template. So that is our next activity. So in the next we have to create the new page template. So I'm going to create the page template as a third step. Okay, so this is the my web template created. So I'll go to the my website again. This is another duplicate tab of my portal management. Then I'll go to the page template here. Otherwise, you can create from here also. You can go to the related and then you can have the page template, and then you can add the new page template from here. And we will select the web template here. So it will select the web template what we have created. Then we have to give the website name and then the name of this page template. So I'll give this name as a CRM demo page template. And under this page templates we can have the several web pages. So you can see as per the diagram. So if you want to create the another page template, you can do that one. So suppose if you want to create the uh, another page template for this, so you can go to your page template here, and then you can add the another page template from here. So like you can see for the one web template you can have the multiple page template, and for each page template you can have the multiple web pages. You can add the web pages from here. So that is our nothing but the fourth step, which will be will be adding the new page. So to add the new web page here, so I will be using a different approach here. What I'll do, I'll open the my Power App portal. So you can see this is my portal, and Power App portal which I have created from the Power App site, and from there I'm going to customize this app, this Power Portal app here, and this is the app design here for that. And for this one, by default some components you can see it will be added here in the left side. Some by default out of the some entities out of the box, some links or some home links and services links, it will be added here. And we will be customizing the links from here, and then you can have the any if you want to add any image text, you can do the you can use some existing built-in components. Then you can have the themes, and themes are nothing but the overall themes of your portal. Like you can see this is the one of the theme I'm having the I mean you can see this is the red and with white and this kind of thing. This kind of look and feel of your web template, sorry, of your portal. You can select the particular theme from here. So you can change your theme based on the black and white and the blue or white, green. So already available some themes are there. You can select that one, but still if you want to modify your entire content and display, you can do that. We can do that. So here I'm going to add the new page under the home page. So this is my home page, and this is my entire home page. So you can see by default when no partial URL is given, then by default it is rendering, right? And that is nothing but our home page. Okay, inside that I'm going to add one of the page link over here on this site here. So I'll go to the Power App here, and I'll add the child page here, and in the right side it will ask to give the name of the page and the links. Okay, so you can see this is the page 2, the name is displayed, but I want to change the display name. So say I want to give the name as CRM demo. Okay, and the partial URL is important because with this partial URL we will be navigating to this page. So what will happen when you into the home URL, that is called the root URL, and then you have to give some partial URL here. When you give this partial URL, then the particular web page will be loaded. So that URL we have to specify here. So I want to give this name as CRM demo. Okay, and it will be, and here you can see it is asking the which web template page template you want to use. So that page template I want to use which I have created now. So but let it be. I will design this page template. This is the template. By default it is selected here because I have created from this portal here, because with respect to that partial URL and this CRM demo page, I will have the web page created in the portal management app. I can show you here. So it is now, you can see it is added here, and the display name will be changed. So to show you the preview, I will open the I will so you can open your power app sorry power app portal from here, browse website. Otherwise I will refresh from here. And you can see the CRM demo page is added, and when you click on this, it will show you the partial URL here on the address bar, and that is nothing but what URL we have given here. Okay, and by default it is, since it is selected this page template, and with respect to this page template we are having this text displayed. Okay, so we want to change this one. So for that we can do using the portal management app. So I'll go to the, this is my portal management, and here I will go to the web pages, and I can find my web pages from here. You can see this is a web page which we have created, so it is present here. And then I will have the partial URL, then the name of the page, and here it is the page template. So since we already created the page template with respect to this web template, right? And inside the web template we are having some custom our own HTML tags, and that will be displayed on the web pages. So for that I will be using this page template there. Okay, so I'll inside this web pages here on this demo web pages, I will change that one. So I'll select CRM demo page template. So this I have selected and save. Okay, so you can see here when you go to the localized content, you'll see by default the English content will be displayed, but our portal is enabled for the Chinese also. But by default when you're adding the new page, then only by default English text will be English content, local content will be created, and that is how we have to create the new localized content pages for the another language. And this is the new configuration we have to do, but this happened because the language was already enabled for my Dynamics. If we enable the language after my all development is completed, my all development is completed, then the enabling process itself, that means language enabling process itself, it will create the localized content for me for each web pages. So at that time we don't have to create the new web pages for the localized language. Okay, so now just to see that if it is working correctly, my web template what we have added here from the page template we are having web template. And with respect to this web template, what here it is uh, sorry, here I'll go to the web template. Yeah, this is my web template. So whatever the code I have added here, so this code should be displayed on my portal there. So I will refresh this page. I'll go to here and try to refresh. You can see, yeah, this is nothing but the HTML tags and the script what we have added into the web templates, and it is rendering correctly. And this is what we will be translating now. So I hope till this step you have clear how I have done it. And if it is clear with this step till step 4, then I will be proceeding to the next step, that is called the actual translation, how we will doing that. Okay, so for this, for the translation, and what I will be doing is um, this is the English text, and with respect to this will have the translated text. And for that what I have done is I have created the already one entity, and in that entity I am taking the language code and couple of fields which will have the configurations. And so let me show you that. So this is my solution in the Dynamics, and here I have created the new entity called translation, and this is the display name of the entity, and the logical name is this one. Okay, for this entity on the form I have added the couple of fields, and this is the form design of that entity, translation entity. And here I have taken the language code, the entity name, then the English text and the translated text. So what will happen, say for the Chinese I'm going to configure the translation, then I will take the Chinese language code. And what is the language code here? Let me show you that. When you go to your portal, you can see when you moving to the another language, then for each language you will have this language code generated in your address bar. If it is for Chinese, then you will have the different language. Let me change that one. So when this is for English text, when you go to the Chinese, then I will have the different language code generated here, and this will be unique for your each language. And here also you can find it's not, the page is not found for the CRM demo. Why? Because the in the page template, I mean when I went to the my web pages, and web page is nothing but CRM demo, and in the localized content I don't have the localized content for the Chinese language, and that is why when I moved to the Chinese language, it didn't find the translator, I mean the web pages configured for the Chinese one. So we have to configure the new web page here. I will be doing this after some time. Just I wanted to show you the how I'm going to do the translation of the text. Okay, so let me explain you the entity first, how I have taken. So that will be the language code here from the address bar. From the portal URL, you will have this language code. Against this language code, I will be configuring these several records. Okay, so and that language code I will give here. Then the entity name, mostly in the real-time project you will be using the entity forms from Dynamics to capture the data in the Dynamics, and those entity forms we will have the entity names there. So sometimes you will be on those entity forms you will have the different translation record, and translation text to be configured. So you can specify the entity name. Instead of that, you can give the entity name. Otherwise, say if you want to translate the particular file, so like CRM demo file, this is my one of the web template which I want to translate, then you can give the CRM demo web template name there. So like that, this is the this field I have taken just to filter the translation text based on the entity wise or the file wise. So here we can specify the file name or the entity name. Then here we'll have the English text, like in the web template you can see we are having, this is the English text. With respect to this English text, we'll have the translated text, and that we have to give here. So we'll give the English text, and what is the translated text we'll fill here. So those four fields I'm taking here to configure the records with that. Okay, so what are the texts to be translated? So you can see I have captured out this text to be translated into the particular Chinese language, and I will show you that what are those. So this is the text I have translated for the, you can see for register, this is the translated text for this content. For this English text, this is the translation. I'm not sure this is the actual translation or not, because I don't know this Chinese is correct or not. I just use the Google Translator to translate this this English text into the particular Chinese translation. But in your real-time project, don't use the Google Translator or any translator tools for your project translation, because for each translation you should ask the translation text from your business, and they will provide you the translated text, and those texts only should be used for your real-time project. Don't use any translated text from your any translated tools available on the websites. Okay, so use always ask the data, translated data from your business for your real-time project if you're going to implement. Okay, but here I have used the this is for the demo, so I have used the translation for the Google Translator for this text, and I have to configure these records as per that. So already I have configured, let me show you that. So what I'll do, I'll go to here and then I'll use the advanced find. Okay, so in this advanced find, I'll look for my translation entity. So this is my translation entity. So here already I have configured the couple of records you can find out here. So let me add the columns here. So I will have the entity name, English text, and then I will have the translated text. Okay, and then okay. So I don't want this created on in my view. So okay, and what I'll do, let me see what are the records I have configured. Okay, so you can see the couple of translated text already I have configured. So I will open one of it, and then I will show you the configuration of this one, which already I have done. Okay, so here just say example this one register. So already I have used this configuration of this text in the translated text, and then I have used the entity name is nothing but our web page name, and then we'll have the Chinese the Chinese code here. So this is code what we have just now I have shown you, right? This is the code from the sorry, our portal here. This is the when we change to the particular language Chinese, and then with that we have the Chinese language code. So I have added that. So like this we have to configure all these text, and we have to create the record of these translations, and these record translations we will be using for the portal translation we will display there. Okay, so since for this was the test configuration, that is why I have given the test web page, but in actual we will give the our translation for this web page, because you can see the web template what we have created, it is used for the web page, this one CRM demo, and we will be using the translation on this web page. Okay, so this is the, when you go to the English, then you will have this CRM demo web page, right? This web page. So against this web page, we are doing the translation. So what I'll do, I will filter the, I will change this name, all the test names here, these test names to the particular CRM demo one, and then this will be configured for the for my this web page. Okay, so I will change that one. So I'll copy the name. Here I'll change this one. So like that we have to configure the all records. You can see this is the one of the record configuration for the for my this web page against the Chinese language, and this is the text, and this is the translation text, and that we have to do for all the remaining records. So what I'll do, I will select in the bulk. Okay, and since already I have configured, you can see for this text. Okay, so you can see for this text, for this selected, which I have selected records here, for this already I have selected the page template as the entity name, but in the for the for the demo purpose I have to change this entity name to the CRM demo here, because I want to filter the records for this web page. So I will give this is the hard-coded name which I'm going to use. So I will change all this I'll take this name, and I will change to these records here, and you can see these are the text which is required for my translation. You can see here emails, password repeat, and those sign-ins, those are nothing but the English text, and what with respect to that what is the translated text I have configured here. So I have opened the already one record I have shown you. So like that it is configured for the remaining records. Okay, and then I'm going to change this one. So I will use this bulk edit, and I will put this entity name as a CRM demo. Okay, okay, now you can see I have the, so I for the CRM demo web page I'm having, these are the English text which to be translated into the language, and I have to query these records into my web pages, and then I will do the translation. So I think this configuration of this translation entity and the record is clear to you. Okay, so our next step is doing the translation record and the entity, which is already I have covered now. So now you have understood how to do the configuration of this entity and what are the fields I have taken for the configuration. But before that, I proceed to the next step. Let me tell you how I'm going to filter this first. I'm going to retrieve what is the condition, advancement condition I'm taking to retrieve this one. So what I'll do, I'll take the status as active because I want to take only those records which are active, which is active translation record configure. So here I'll add the condition equal to active. Then it should have the language code as a ZNCN. The particular language is nothing but this one. So I'll select this language code. Then here I'll put this one. Then I will have the this entity name also, and that is nothing but the CRM demo, which is coming from here. Okay, I'll add now. So based on that, when I look for records, then you can see those 9 records which is applicable for my translation on this web page. It's displaying now, right? So when you go to your CRM portal, uh, then you can see when you go to the portal here, then you can see these are the text which we have to translate into the Chinese language. Now, so this was the part of the step 5 and 6 where we have to do the configuration of the entity and the records. So now in the last and 7th step where we'll be doing the actual translation of this records of this text on the by fetching those records, translation records in the portal management configuration. Okay, so now I will switch to the portal management. Okay, so on the portal management, you can see for the CRM web page here, demo web page, I'm having only the uh, English language here. I don't have the language for Chinese language content record for the this CRM demo web page. So I'm going to configure the new record here, and here we have to give the language as Chinese here. And when we select, and we have to check this, we have to change this publisher state to publish. Okay, then save. Okay, when you go to the now your web page, now when this is my CRM demo web page, and inside that I have the 2 localized content. One is for the English, another is for the Chinese. And now when I go to the my portal and try to one, I'll refresh it, and then I will try to change the language here. Okay, so this is my web page. Now I'm going to change into the Chinese. It will take some time to reflect. Now you can see I have changed the language to Chinese here, and with respect to that, the text which is coming from the our web template here, what we have given as a hard-coded text, these ones are coming correctly as per the web page how we have where we have used this one. From the page template, we are having the web template, which is nothing but this one, and from this web page, the hard-coded text of those one is coming here. Now our task is to translate this text based on this language when we switch, right? When for the English is to display English, for the Chinese is to display Chinese. And for this translation already we have configured the translation records, and we have to fetch these records in the web template and then display that one. So what I'll do, we have to do some modification in this web template. So this is the actual activity we have to perform for the translation. So what we should do first? So first we have to do is we have to retrieve these records based on the conditions what we are having here, right? So for that, in the web template we can use the liquid script, and that is for the fetch XML. Fetch XML liquid script we can use to retrieve the record based on the fetch XML. So for this advancement condition, you can download the fetch XML form here, and then you can modify that one. So already I have downloaded, and it is similar to this. I will show you that it will be similar to this. We'll have the translation entity. This is the logical name of this translation. Then we'll have condition active, language code ZN, and here this is the display name, sorry, entity name as a CRM demo. So here I will change this entity name to CRM demo one here. So it will be similar to this, not similar to exactly this. This is the code which will be downloaded. You can download the fetch XML from here. You can download the fetch XML from here, so, and when you open this file, it will be similar to this one. Okay, and then here we have the name, translated text, entity name, and English text, and we have to use this fetch XML in the liquid script. But before we use, we have to make sure we have changed this double quote into the single quote. So let me refresh this. Let me change this one. So double quote we have to replace with this single quote here. So replace all. You can see I have replaced my all double quote with a single one, and this is the fetch XML we have to use in our liquid script. So in the web template here, I'm going to write the liquid script here. So to write the liquid script for the fetch, I will use the this one parenthesis. Then we'll take the percentage here. Then we'll have the fetch XML. Okay, and when we do the fetch XML on any entity, then those fetch retrieve records will be placed into some variable, and that variable name we have to give here. So I will use this translation record. Okay, and we have to end this. We have to end it. So I'll use this and fetch XML. So this is the start of the fetch XML, and this is the end of the fetch XML, and inside that we'll have the translation records, where our all these 9 records which we are having from the advancement condition, it will be retrieved and it will be present there. Okay, so let me copy this fetch XML and put inside the text here, inside this fetch XML here. Okay, so it's here now. Now before we write the fetch XML, we have to check the permissions to this entity. So when we have created the new entity here as a translation entity, which I have mentioned here, the translation entity. So for this entity, when we do any fetch, or when we retrieve any record in the dynamics, we have to make sure we have the at least read permissions, to retrieve the records or view the records like that. So in the dynamic, in the portal also, we have the permissions like that, and that is called the entity permission or the table permission. So for this entity, translation entity, we have to create the web roles. Web roles are nothing but portal roles which will enable the contacts to perform the operations on the entities. So here I'll go to the my entity permissions first. This is called the table permission here. So I'll go to the table permission, and you can see for the translation entity, this is the logical name of my translation, and with respect to that, I have to configure the new entity permission. So when you want to retrieve the records for your translation, you have to configure this new table permission. So make sure you configure the entity permission or the table permission for your entity. So this is the name I have given here. Then the entity name, the entity which I have for which I'm going to configure this. I will select this one, the website, and then what type of access it is. So if it is global, contact, account, self, or parent. So I have selected the global here because I want to retrieve the records for all the configurations which we are having. I want the permissions on all the records which are configured like this, which are configured for this entity, translation entity. So I want to retrieve those ones. So I have given the global here, and we are having the privilege read, create, append, write, and append to. So this privilege we will select. Okay, so like that, I have created one entity permission. So for these permissions, we'll have the web roles, and web roles are nothing but the entities similar to the our security role in the dynamics. And when you assign these web roles to the particular contact, means the portal user. Portal user are nothing but the user who has signed in here. You can see I have signed in to this my portal, and this is the one of the user of the portal. So when you sign in here, then for this contact, for this user, the contact record will be created, and that contact we have to assign this web role here. So what I did, first of all, I created the entity permission for the particular entity translation, because I want to retrieve the record in the fetch XML for the translation entity. So that is why I have to create one translation entity permission or the table permission for this translation entity. Then I have to add this some existing web roles. If you don't have any existing web roles, then you want to, based on the design the new roles for your project, then you can create the new roles. First you have to create the new web roles, then add those web roles here. Okay, so I have used the existing web roles only, so I have selected the anonymous all available web roles here. So I have added these web roles which they can access the entity, this one. Now these web roles can be added to the particular contact. So when I have logged to this portal, then for with my login there is already one contact created. When I go to the contact, then my contact is already created here. You can see this is the contact, and this is for the portal login. So when you go to the your web authentication under the portal contact form, then you will see the username of your portal, and then you can see the login is enabled and logout is enabled. Some by default configuration will be there. And then in the when you go to the related and you go to the your web roles, now you will see the web role associated. Since for this contact I have given this wave roles, because this wave roles allows to retrieve, perform these privilege on this entity records. So since I have the read privilege here, so I can read the data. I mean I can download. I mean I can fetch the data of this translation based on the web roles which I have added. So these roles I have added to my contact here, and due to that I can perform this fetch operation. So when I have logged into the portal and when I change the language, and when my page is loaded, when page is loaded, a web page, then with this login I will have the permissions for my contact with these roles, and when I have these roles, then I can fetch the translations from here. So I hope now it is clear to you how these entity permissions and the web roles are attached, is associated to the contacts for the portal. Okay, so first of all I will summarize it. First of all, you will have the entity or the table permissions for particular entity. What privilege you want to give those entity permission, you have to select that one, and for that entity permission you have to add the web roles, and those web roles can be used by the contacts to perform these privilege operations. So I have added the web roles here, and these web roles I have added to one of the contact. This is the contact, and these are the web roles associated to this contact. So when this contact will log into the portal, then with this web role permissions, whatever the table permissions it is assigned to these roles, it will be working then. So I hope now it is clear to you. Okay, so now we'll move to the web template. So we have already designed the translation record here now. Okay, so next thing is our all fetched record, those 9 records what we are having here, these 9 records will be collected into this translation record. So now for each translation record we have to put into the some array in the JavaScript. From there we can, using the some JavaScript or jQuery, we can retrieve the records from the array. So for that I'll take the some script here. So a script, it will be text/javascript. Okay, and then closing of this one, and here I will take one variable var, and that will be translation array. Okay, I will initialize as an array here. Okay, and inside this array I want to put everything which is coming here, and what I need to put is I will put the English text and then the Chinese translated text. So like for the English text register, what is the translated text? For the English text this one, what is the translated text? For email, what is the translated text? So likewise I want to make the array, this will be my index number and this will be the index value of that array. Okay, like that I want to do this. So for this already I have taken the variable here in the top, and here I have to loop through my each record and then fetch the value and take the value from this record and put into that. So for that what I'll do, I will take the for loop. So I will use the liquid script for loop. So here we are having the for, then I'll take the name of that, so it will be translation in, and then we'll have the, this is the collection here, right? So collection dot results dot entities. So inside the collection will have the results, and for each results will have the entities. So each entity is a store, I mean one entity will be stored as a translation here, and we will be using that translation. So let me close this liquid script. So to close that, we'll have the and for. Okay, and now between these two I will be writing our script, JavaScript, which will be putting the translation value from this one into the array of this. So for that, I will, inside that I'll put the script here. Okay, so inside this script I have to put the value. So this is my array, and here I will take the index as a English, as I mentioned before. What I'll do, I will take the index as a English, and then the what is the index value, then it will be translated text. So that when I use this I mean array, then just I have to pass this English name there, and with respect to that my translated value will be returned. So for this we have to use this liquid script to get the value. Okay, so it is translation the record, and then dot, and then we'll have the schema name of the field. So you can see this is the schema name of the English text. So that value of this field, it will be stored as an index value, and that is nothing but equals to the translation here, and then inside that we'll store the translated text. So that is the this one, translated text. Okay, so it is now clear. So what I did here, for each translation record what I retrieve from the fetch XML, I'm taking this one record, one entity record as a translation. From this translation I am writing the script here, small script, and this script what it is doing is, inside my translation array which I have initialized here, inside that it is taking the English as an index, and then setting the translated value here as a text. Okay, so it will be running for each record of the translated record what we have configured. So but here we have to do one thing. You can see the language value is as a hard coded Chinese, but it should be dynamic. Say when you have multiple language, more than English and Chinese enabled, then you will have this value as a dynamic there, right? So to identify the selected language code on your portal, there is a small script for that. So I will be taking that one. So the script is this one. So it is nothing but website dot selected underscore language dot code. So this is the small liquid script which will give the value of the language code. This is the language code of the Chinese language. When we have selected the Chinese here, this is the language code. It will be returning using this liquid script, a small liquid script. So that should be dynamic. So I have made this dynamic value instead of the hard coded text, and this is the hard coded. So like suppose if you want to use this similar concept for another web template, then you can change this value to the another web pages or web template, and then you can I mean this fetch XML you have to put on your web templates where we are having the different entity name. So you can, based on that, you can reuse that one. Okay, so this is one part. So now we have added into array. So now finally we have to replace these values as a translation. So for that we have to use some JavaScript functions. So what I'll do, I'll take the one script here. Okay, and here we will be writing our code. So first of all, we have to write one function which will be doing this translation of the individual, HTML tags. So here I'll write the function, and that is translate text. Okay, and here our logic will go, all the translation logic, but this function has to be called because when you go to the any pages, it will be load that, right? So like when I'm on this page, then it will load that, right? So when it is loaded, then I want the translation. So for that, I have to write the function on the onload. So for that, we are having the jQuery function. So that is document, and then when it is ready, then I want the function to be executed, and this is the function logic. So inside this function, I will be calling my translated function here, so like this. Okay, and inside this function I will be doing my all translation. So when my document is ready means when my web template is ready, it is load is completed, then this translation function will be translating this one. So what I'll do, we have to retrieve this this ID element here by using this unique ID. You can see for each ID what we are having inside the for each HTML tags, I have given the unique ID. You can see for this header one, this is the ID. For P paragraph, this is the ID. For the email, this is the ID. For the input email, this is the ID. For likewise, we have to give the unique ID to each HTML tags. And if you don't want to use the ID, you can use the another component like using the name or the class. If you want to retrieve these elements based on the different attributes, you can do that. Okay, so here uh, what I'm going to do, first I'll retrieve the element by ID. So ID is nothing but this one, and inside that we have to add the HTML tag. Okay, and inside means we'll insert the HTML for this one, and for this one to insert that we have to use the translation here. So we know that inside my translation array I will have all the translated text, which is as a English text as a indexed, and the translation text as a value for this. So what I'll do, I'll find the value of that translation using the array. So you can see for this English text register, then I have to pass the register value here. So this is nothing but this one, copy and paste here. So likewise, so this is the one of the translation for this header element. Like if you want to translation for your other one, so I will do translation for all the HTML tags. So for this one, I'm having this one. Then I'll copy the text of this one because this is the one of the text which is configured as a record here. You can see this is the text, and for this one, this is the translated text. So I have to pass this value. So here I will pass value here. Then I'm having the email text. Then I'll pass this email. Then I'm having the placeholder for this also. So for this, I will take the ID of this one. Then instead of HTML here, you can place the text also. Suppose you don't want to, suppose sometimes what will happen for individual tags, you will be putting the some style or bold something with before the text. Before the text, so that time we will be using the insert HTML. This is similar to the insert HTML in the JavaScript, but here in the jQuery it is HTML. So here we will be putting that one. If we are having some lace, suppose I want to do some styling here, so like I want to make this bold, so I will be taking like this, okay, bold here, then closing the parenthesis of the bold like that. So if you want to do some styling on your translated text, then you can use the HTML. That is why I have selected the HTML function here. Instead of that, if you are text, then you can directly use the text also like this. You can use the text like this. It will work. Okay, so now for the placeholder here, this is one of the attribute. So first you have to access this attribute, placeholder attribute. So here for the, this is nothing but for the ID email, and then I already have taken the ID email. Then I have to select dot attribute here. Then I will have the name of the attribute. This is placeholder. Then the translated text of the email. So this is the email, which is this one. I will pass here. Okay. Next is password. So I will change this password. The ID of the password tag is this one, so I'll change this one ID. Then for the placeholder also we are having the placeholder ID is PSW, so I'll give the ID here PSW, and then the we'll have the placeholder attribute here. So instead of HTML we will be using the attribute function, and then the placeholder, then the translated text, and for the password we will be passing that. Below we are having the password repeat, so I'll copy this. Then the ID of this password repeat is this one. Okay, then for the placeholder of this password repeat, the ID is this one, so I'll copy this ID. This will be attribute, since this is the placeholder, so it will be attribute. Okay, and then we are having couple of other tags. These are nothing but information, terms and conditions. So I'll change this ID here. The text is nothing but this much, so hours here. So I'll put this text, because if you see the another record already, you can see this is the text for this one. So I have selected that text. I'm passing here that value, and the last one is, sorry, we are having this button also. So copy two more rows. The ID of this one is button register. So I'll copy this. I'll change this one ID, and this will be our HTML. Then instead of placeholder, here we have to change this register, since this button display name, if in a portal the register button is same here, this is the same text, right? So this text we have to replace with the Chinese one. So um, here I will change this repeat password with the register, and the last one is this one, already an account. So with this we have to pass, because with respect to this English text we also have configured here already as an account. So I will be passing that here. Okay, and now it will be HTML, and the ID of this one is this one. Okay, so finally we have written the function. Now I think everything is fine. So it seems correct now. So we have done the, what we did is first of all we use the fetch XML to retrieve the translation records, means all these 9 records what we have configured for my web page, this one CRM demo. Okay, then these translation records I will loop through each record, and then I'm putting inside the array of the one JavaScript variable, translation array, and where I'm taking the English as a translation text, and then value of this one is translated text. So English text is nothing but the index, and the value is nothing but the translated text. And then on the when document is ready, when the web template is loaded, then I'm calling the function, and this function is finding the elements ID and elements by ID for the HTML tags, and inside that it is changing the value by using the HTML or the text function, or if you have some placeholders, then I'm replacing that with the value by passing that one. So for the email, since this is for the email, then I'm passing the email value. For password value, and likewise it will translate all the values for all the IDs which are found from this function. So I think it is done. So let me save this, and then I will try to change this into English first, and then I will reload it to the Chinese one. Okay, so let me refresh this. Okay, so I'm changing the language to Chinese here. Now you can see the most of the text are translated how we configure. So these are the text which are translated into Chinese and using this function. So uh, I hope now you have understood it, how it is done, and you can use this same concept for your project. If you are using the multi-language project for your portal, then you can use this same concept for your hard-coded text, and I found it easier to do. And if you have any questions in that, you can let me know. And if you want this code in your for your reference, then I will add this code in the description box. The link I'll provide in the description box. From there you can download these codes for your reference and for your users purpose. So I hope now it is clear to you, and if you have any questions, you can let me know. And thank you for watching this video, guys.